Today is the day that Japan finally meets its end in its conquest. Welcome back, everybody, and today we are going to be starting over here where last episode Indonesia got absolutely knocked out by Japan. This episode, Indonesia's back, and this time to destroy Japan. So the blue team basically funds a bunch of Indonesian military bases in here, basically in order to finally destroy Japan once more. And all of this eventually is enough. So since last episode they've been preparing, it's been like 50 years or something, 25, 50 years, something like that, something crazy. And they move through and they completely colonize all of this land, destroying all the villages. Now the Japanese hear about this and all the tribe people that united with them are like, "Can y'all like help us, please? Thank you." And Japan's like, "We can try." Yeah, it's safe to say they're gonna fail miserably, and the crown jewel of Indonesia is going to stay Indonesian because Indonesia, now prepared with blue team weapons, is ready, and they're quickly going to send their entire army through. Japan is destroyed. In the first wave of the invasion alone, Japan loses almost the entirety of no, no, they lose a good chunk of the island, and eventually the Holy Lands over here are threatened, leading to the leaders over here surrendering the lands completely in order for them to not be destroyed. And then as these guys move up, Indonesia is going to capture even more Japanese land. And quickly, I know this part's a little bit short, but honestly, Japan's not surviving this. Eventually, the capital of the thing is destroyed on the Japanese side, and Japan falls. The island is now completely Indonesian. Indonesia will never be doubted again. For now, they are the strongest country uh on this island. Technically it's the blue team, but let's be honest, that one small dot of the blue team is not doing anything if the Indonesia goes to war with it. So yeah, with that, Japan is going to actually now set sail, and they're going to try to basically find some new land. Half of their boats, because a lot of them are going to evacuate, half with the stories from the Holy Land are going to basically believe the stories, and the stories point out a land south rich with gold. Anyways, so half are gonna believe the story. They're gonna be like, you know what? We got nothing to lose. Let's just do it. If we return to the Empire with news that we lost the island, we're getting killed either way. So they're gonna go and they're going to eventually. A lot of them are gonna get lost. Some are going to go up, not believing the stories. However, eventually they're gonna bring some of the tribal people with them. And tribal people are going to tell the king about the stories, and he's gonna send a ship, knowing that there are some people hiding. And that ship's eventually going to intercept those people while they're floating in the sea. And they're going to give those guys a choice. Come with us as prisoners to this mysterious land. If it's real, you live. If it's fake, you're gone. And they eventually make it to the tip of New Zealand. The land is real. However, it's broke. No riches, no nothing. Now that's gonna hit different. They're gonna all go back in defeat. However, the stories are going to make it throughout the Australian world. Meanwhile, back here in Rome, uh, we can move on to another part. Also, Japan is like, they know that there's going to be some resources here. They saw some resources, but they're too broke to colonize it because Indonesia is going to put so much restrictions on these guys. And now they have genuinely no one to trade with left since they upsetted all their Australian stuff. Anyway, red team in Rome, though. War's been going on for so long between these two, and today is finally the day. Rome versus the red team. Finally, who will come out on top? Is it the war to settle the Mediterranean beef? And quickly, the Romans are going to start it, wanting to completely end the red team once and for all. They're going to start it in the Ottomans, who since day one, episode 1 or episode 2, something like that, they have been claiming this land and never been able to get it back. Today is the day. The Ottomans quickly go through, destroying the region completely. With their Roman allies, they're going to do very, very, very well. However, I think now is the moment to mention Rome may have underestimated how much troops the red team had lined up at the Sinai's borders, because the next country that is supposed to invade and destroy everything is Sinai, and they're supposed to cook the red team because the red team's not supposed to have troops there. The troops are supposed to be at the Suez Canal. Yeah, they're gonna get about yay far, and that's pretty much it. And they're pushed right back, and already the red team invasion of the Sinai begins, and the Sinai is quickly realizing that they need to lock in, or they are not surviving this because Roman stuff is going to arrive here in like very very like months. It's going to take months for the Romans to actually be able to get over here. Until then, they need to survive. The red team's already going to have pushed them pretty much to their walls, to their little like border defense thing. Meanwhile, Rome over here going to begin cooking people. Quickly, they're going to go down here and they're going to capture this province of the Mamluks, and that's going to go very well for them. Mamluks are going to get a little bit upset at this, demanding the red team to help. However, realistically, what is the red team going to do? Let's be real out here. Over here, meanwhile, the red team is going to do something, and that is going to be the push of these guys, which is going to go pretty well, and they're going to get pushed all the way back over there. Now, this is not going to go well that much for the Romans. It's going well right now, but like, how long are the Romans going to survive this? The Romans, neither team can really go over here because it's so heavily fortified, and also it's a desert. So everyone's going to be trying to get as much land out of the Mamluk area as possible. Meanwhile, the Mamluk area over here is going to lose all of this stuff over here, which is going to be another massive blow to the red team. Over here, though, the Ottomans are going to continue their mission to capture as much as possible, and they're going to get pretty far into the red team. And this is where the downfall begins. Because right after this, the red team reaches the gates of Sinai. And a legendary battle takes place as a 2.7 million Re- Roman troops arrive. What is this little thing? What is this? Is that real? No. Okay, I thought that was on my screen. No, that's in Paint 3D. Anyways, 2.6 million Roman troops versus 3 million red team troops. It's a battle of technology. Sinai fights long and hard, but Sinai it's just too much. The force of the red team is just too much. Eventually, the capital falls, and massive evacuations take place as the red team destroys what was once a great hope of victory for the Romans. Rome, after this, is also going to lose their prized possession, the Mamluk kingdom. They're going to lose this, their capital completely gone. And from here, the Mamluks are going to begin the invasion of the Romans. While Carthage is going to begin its own rebellions to kind of end what the Romans have done to Carthage. Because what the Romans did to Carthage was like 100% wrong. Like the Romans, I don't even know how they managed to capture this. Firstly, secondly, yeah, but Carthage are gonna start rebelling, and the red team is going to push through, capturing so much of the Roman land in Carthage. It's eventually going to upset even the Carthaginians that were supporting Rome, leading to a full-scale civil war between Rome and Carthage. And I'm pretty sure that just colored literally everything. No, I don't want that. Tolerance 3. You should only color what I told you to. Okay, it only colored what I told it to. Anyway, the full-scale civil war begins with many of Rome's key cities being the ones to rebel, and the principality system in Carthage is the one that's ultimately going to give Carthage the win, as Rome has to kill so many people in order to make sure that the Carthaginians get what they wanted. Um, in order to make sure the Carthaginians like don't rebel. Anyways, Mamluks are also going to arrive to the gates of Carthage to help them, and that is going to lead to Rome eventually getting cut off right here from the rest of their Carthaginian colony, which is going to lead to their prized possession completely falling. Actually, they have two prized possessions. Carthage is their military like show off thing that, oh yeah, we defeated these guys. Mamluk is their greatest economic thing ever, and the Mamluks are going to completely rip them apart over here. Rome is destroyed. Rome's key checkpoints are completely wiped out, while the red team continues to support these guys as they continue to rampage what's left of Rome. Meanwhile, down here, the red team has already arrived, sieging the colony and eventually helping separatists destroy the colony itself in the name of the red team. Quickly, separatist movements break out in the colony, no longer wanting to be a part of Rome, and they don't really have support from the red team. However, diplomatic support, right? Because the amount of famine in Rome no longer wanting to help this colony, the people living there are going to be very violent against the Romans, pushing them out of their own colony and setting up the first real, somewhat independent at the moment country in Australia. Meanwhile, over here, Mamluks are forced to evacuate. Mamluks? No, Romans are forced to evacuate from the Mamluks, leading to complete destruction over there. Over here, these guys capitulate under pressure. And as you can see, the Romans are cooked right now, like very severely cooked. As over here, Carthage is going to successfully capture all of this all of this land after months of war. And as you can see, let's be honest here for a second, Rome is not winning this. It's only how long they can survive now. So as Carthage quickly busts through the Roman defenses, it leaves literally just the Ottoman front. That's the only front that's going in the Roman favor. And the Ottomans are actually going to do really, really well. However, that is going to come at a cost for the Romans. The Ottomans are going to give the red team a peace treaty. They're basically going to say, hey, red team, we're willing to ceasefire right now, and we'll leave the Roman alliance. I mean, no, let me change that up a bit. Ottomans, after seeing not that much Roman support, but them still winning, they're eventually going to get pretty sick of the Romans, as they want a peace treaty, but the Romans don't. They want all their stuff back. So they're actually going to end up leaving the Roman alliance completely. Rome's closest ally and only successful ally gone. While the Romanians over here are going to see this as nothing but an opportunity, issuing a notice for all Balkanian countries that they're going on a conquest for the liberation of Albania, in which they're going to basically aim to liberate all of the Balkan area from the control of the Romans. Red Team's obviously going to help them in this. Meanwhile, these guys who got pretty cut off from the coastline because of Rome are going to also capture a lot of land, getting a lot of coastline, while the rest of this land is going to fall to the hands of the Romanians. Just like that. Yeah, and the rest of the country is going to rebel against Rome in an effort to make sure that they don't get completely whooped. These guys, meanwhile, are going to dissolve the Roman alliance officially by being the last country in the major thing to leave. Major country to leave. That leaves literally only these guys, which is I think like the original Carthaginians, as the only like thing left. However, they're also going to leave shortly after, not wanting to get absolutely destroyed. However, they're going to be forced to give Red Team some military access. And soon after that, a landing is made in Sicily as the Romans now get pushed into their own homeland. From where, after months of war, the Romans are going to be left at a very, very horrible disadvantage as they lose the boot of Italy. And here is the Romans' final stand. A siege of Rome takes place, and the once graded as one of the highest naval powers in the world versus the best land military in the world. Red team versus Rome. Quickly, it's gonna be proven that Rome is gonna be able to is gonna be destroyed, and as the siege of Rome takes place by the Red team navy, the Roman navy from another nearby city comes and actually loses, which completely demolishes the last support the Romans had for their king. The king runs deeper into Rome as Rome falls further and further, and the king's advisors all now are sick of this war, saying we don't want to lose any more of Rome. They finally agree to peace. Let me drop this peace. All right, so taking a look at this peace treaty, obviously we can see Rome is completely cooked. Red team out here really doing trolling. I'm gonna be honest. So they they give Carthage uh Rome. They gave Carthage Rome. They gave Carthage all the land conquered in Rome. But firstly, let's see at their losses. They lost a lot of stuff to the Ottomans. Doesn't really matter. Rome lost everything. So not only is the Roman alliance gone completely, um, these guys, these guys all got the entire coastline. Albania gained its independence, and oh, this overseas colony is actually going to turn to the blue team for support after Rome abandoned them and they overthrew their leaders there, and so that's actually going to become a blue team colony now. I feel like I'm missing a colony of their own. No, I'm not. Oh, Mamluks got all of their stuff back, but obviously now they're under that new government thing. The capital's gonna stay in that rebel capital. Carthage gained its independence. Yeah, I feel like that's basically it. Now Rome, being insanely broke, the king is gonna do one final make it or break it thing. He is going to send over one last envoy. Land of fairy tales. One final ship into Australia. One final chance at colonizing. Because all this happened from his greed of colonizing. He's going to make a landing in New Zealand. The final stand of Rome will be taking place in New Zealand next episode against Japan, who has also now finally started to recover from all this sanctioning and stuff. Their economy's finally back. They're also going to send a ship the way New Zealand's way. So next episode, y'all are gonna see what's gonna happen there. Anyway, this episode though, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a little bit shorter, however, that's okay because it was still fun. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.